Hello everyone. Welcome to the new episode of A Mindful Career. Today I have a new guest, Yolanda. We have known each other for years, right? So I will leave Yolanda to introduce herself and also share her current practice as a career coach as well. Clients you are helping with, what are the kind of working experiences they have? Are they mostly young kids or they have more experiences in their career?
So I've coached also people in sort of after 20 years of working in general management roles, trying to move into a bit of a different career path. Or after the COVID started, actually, there were also people who are trying to get back into the workforce.
Today we will talk a little bit different from what we used to do, right? We help people find jobs all the time. Today we talk about why you shouldn't join a company, you shouldn't accept the offer, right? So I want to start with questions to Yolanda. After all the hardship of reaching out people on LinkedIn, going through the interviews, going through the assessment centers, then finally people get an offer. Under what kind of situations you think like people shouldn't accept the offer?
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting question, and it kind of is controversial, right? At this time, people are like, I just want a job. Uh, but that rhetoric kind of changed once they get the job and once they are into it. So I had exactly that same case from one of the clients who were basically just wanting a job so desperately. And then yesterday she was saying, you know what, I just realized I need to prioritize my health and my family, and this job is way more demanding than what I needed to. So I think it all goes back to, at the core, what we really need as a person, right? We don't just need money. I mean, it's very, very important, but on the other hand, there are a few other things that we need to balance on the plate. So it goes back to we need to be very clearly aware of what we need before we make that kind of decision in that moment.
Right. So I think, I feel desperation. It's not a good thing, right? So in general, in life, right? So it's not a good thing in any kind of context. I realize under the current situations, people when they receive a job offer, they feel okay, it's already very challenging, right? So why don't I, just go into this, right? And see how it goes. I feel a lot of people may have this kind of mentality, but without a very clear self-awareness and also what you want to achieve at this job, I think you are also wasting your time, right? And some other priorities maybe overlooked. So how then people will naturally ask, right? So how do I set my priorities, right? How do I do the kind of self-realizations? Do you have any ideas, especially when an offer comes in front of me, right? So what are the kind of deciding factors or some other considerations people should take into considerations?
Okay, so I think just now we discussed one scenario where we do not have a job, right? So there are also cases where we actually have a job. So obviously there's a bit of a difference because in terms of the sort of opportunity cost. But in either case, I think we are so programmed today that we want everything. Like we want health, we want money, career progression, and everything. But the thing is, whenever something comes, it may not fulfill everything, or it may look like it has everything. When it comes to knowing more about the company, we have very limited resources. And when it comes to knowing about us, we then have this huge amount of expectation. So what we do is that we really need to come back to us and say, if these factors are conflicting, and I can only choose one, what would I choose? When it comes to verifying the opportunity with that company, then there need to be more of investigation work than less of guesswork. So if you think there's a culture or management style concern, then you need to chat with more people from that company or the industry, and also go through more interview or sort of informal conversations with the hiring manager to find out before you actually speculate.
Right. I mean, I think key message here, I guess, really is, when you get an offer, there are still a lot of things you need to do, right? It's not like I'm just going to take it, right? Even though they may give a very short time frame for you to decide whether you're going to take the offer, but there are still a lot of things you can do within that period of time, right? You as Yolanda mentioned, talking to people in the industry, right, from the companies, right, will add some insights for you to make that kind of decisions. I only worked for 2 companies in the past, right? So one of my first job, and this is only my second job. I think for people, and also have seen people who have done a lot of jobs, right, in their career. And I heard people sometimes tell me, you should always look for opportunities. Do you think this is a fair statement? Yeah, like, do people in a job should always look for opportunities?
It depends. I know you hear such questions, such statements a lot, right? I think the thing is being open to opportunities generally means that there usually will be energy involved. So for me, myself, I think my principle is I'll keep my opportunity open. But when there are times where I think periodically I'll sort of see, I'll reject actually when headhunters or recruiters approach me and I know it's completely impossible. But there are at times where I may say, well, I want to hear about it. But if I'm still genuinely not going to explore, I will tell the person, no, thanks. So I think the thing is we are allowing new ideas to come into our world. It's not necessarily just opportunity, meaning that it gives us more information about how the market is moving and how the market is valuing our newly gained career capital in the current job. And with that information, we actually have new insight about how we can pivot within our current role or in our next, career move. So these are very good input. That's how I take it.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. I think it's with this added information, there are a lot of assessment you can do for your current job, right? So if you're thinking about career progressions, you probably want to know, what's in the market, right? What's available in the market, right? So I think that's really critical. I'm not talking only about the remunerations and the progressions, right? But also what are the opportunity, what are the types of companies that are kind of recruiting right now, right? So let's say if it's a data scientist, data analyst role, there are so many companies in so many different industries are recruiting in that areas, right? So if you're doing data analytics in manufacturing companies, you can definitely gain some insights from talking to recruiters or opportunities, maybe in other industries, right? So I think with that, I definitely agree. There are added values, right? But do you think that will be a distraction, right? Especially I think for let's say very insecure manager. I mean, if they have a team of aspiring professionals, right? So they also want to retain the team. What kind of the message you feel the managers they should send to their younger colleagues? Yeah.
Okay, I think that's a very interesting question, Daniel. What happens is, I think managers need to know they have zero control or influence on whether or not the team members look out. The team members will look out if they feel they are not being treated fairly, which is usually the number one reason for looking out, or they are just genuinely so optimistic and they just want to know what's out there, right? Or there are many reasons for career progression that cannot be fulfilled in the current company. But what manager can send out is, he needs to be more concerned of or understanding towards that these team members' personal development. That there are, some of the most respected entrepreneurs or the people I know, they take a very, very open attitude saying, I don't mind losing you if you are able to secure a place where offers you way better career growth and opportunity and all that. I would be proud of you because that shows my organization has built the kind of career capital and value into your career path that they want you. But at the same time, it is a challenge that's posed to me and my company to continuously create the kind of opportunity that will allow you to grow further and hopefully hopefully retain you for some more years.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, spot on. I feel there are two sides of the coin, right? So I mean I think I met a lot of entrepreneurs that are very open about colleagues leaving as well, right? So I think as a managers, yes, there are no controls, right? So you probably need to think about the internal opportunities you're going to create for your colleagues, right? So how they're going to leverage on those opportunities and grow. And if they see the opportunities within the organizations, I think that's probably they will be able to stay. At least they have seen some of the opportunities, right? You probably need to let them know. If there is really no such opportunities, from a manager point of view, I think you should let the other people leave, right? So yeah, I mean, nothing personal. That's how I look at it, right?